We are live.
What's up, people? You'll have to let us know if there's audio issues. There shouldn't be, but there might be a slight audio issue. I know some people are more keen to point those out than others. So if you are a helpful gentleman or gentle lady or gentle person, feel free. You know, point out that our audio is bad. It's not that I've suddenly developed a cold in the last hour. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, it's because someone forgot his headphones. Someone misplaced his headphones and he can't find his headphones, and now he's gonna have to mute every time his co-host talks.
Well, maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. Yeah, like right now, can you guys hear anything? Can you hear my voice repeating at all? Let us know.
This is the pre-show. You're very important here, everybody.
Yeah.
You really got to help us.
You guys are our producers. You're basically playing Ty today. Like on the Wednesday shows, you guys got to play the role of Ty.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Exactly.
I feel like, Ty, you're just showing off your big headphones.
Yeah, look how awesome they are. Don't you wish that you had headphones like these? Look how great they are. There's no background noise coming through on my microphone. It's great.
Chunky,
very chunky. Actually, they're starting to give out because I use these for everything. I use these for like Xbox. I use these just as like music headphones. I like these Razer.
available.
What?
Other consoles are available. You know, no free ads.
Yeah. No, well, I also have a PS5. Not to brag.
That is kind of bragging.
No,
it's not even humble.
I'm not bragging. I'm totally not bragging about my PS5 that I got at launch.
I have a PS3.
Yeah. And hey, and you know what? And I don't, and I can't play NCAA 14. So, and you can't.
Well, apparently you could on a modified Xbox Series S. That's what we found out, wasn't it?
That is true. And I do have an Xbox Series S. I just haven't modified it, if you will.
Today, someone told me about IPTV. Are you familiar with this phenomenon?
No, explain it to me.
Oh, buddy, I can't explain that to you, but I can try. Badly. So,
okay,
IPTV, internet provided television.
Gotcha. Okay.
Not sure about that one. However, what I would say is basically it lets you watch loads and loads of different channels that you shouldn't be able to watch. Like, for instance, soccer, which is broadcast at 3 p.m. our time, but isn't shown in the UK. It's blacked out. That sort of thing.
Got you.
So it gives you like thousands of different channels from around the world via the internet.
No free ads, though.
No free ads. Well, I believe the whole service is called IPTV. I don't think it's a... It may be clandestine. I'm not advocating it because it may be legal. Probably is legal. I'm not sure.
We're not advising you to look at we were merely just talking about this for research purposes. Yeah, it's a thing that exists.
Like not wearing your seatbelt is a thing. Like,
yeah, we're just
do that.
Yeah, we're just discussing, you know, and you should definitely wear your seatbelt, especially when making legal U-turns. But yeah, that's yeah, that, you know, we're just shooting the, you know, we're chatting shit, right? Like, as you would say. And yeah. Right. Okay. So such a homer with the PS logo in the background. Yeah, but this is an all console household here. We got PS5, we got Xbox Series S, and did I mention that I also have a PS5 and Nintendo Switch?
What's the other one? Switch? You know what?
PS5, which I own.
No, Xbox. No, I feel like there's another console.
Well, there's the Steam Deck that just came out recently.
Oh yeah, that's not that recent, right? Or is there like a new one?
That's like the only one, and it came out like I don't know, like last summer. Like they started shipping them out.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
it's a computer like on the go basically.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then there isn't anything else unless you're thinking about like 20 years ago, 20 or so years ago, like Sega and all that, like Dreamcast and all that. Is that what you're thinking about?
No, I think you and Griff, sometimes your age shows, how much older you are than me.
Aren't I like only a year older than you?
No, no, no. It's much, much longer than that. Almost
Oh,
double, I think.
whoa.
Yeah.
You're 13 years old?
No, double a year. Okay,
Oh.
Ty.
Yes, me.
Should we
Maddie.
should we do the
Maddie.
podcast?
Maddie F. Yeah, is that good with everyone else in the chat? You guys want us to do the podcast?
Yeah, and here's the thing, chat. 16 people like the video on YouTube, please.
Yeah, we
How
better
much
get
Twitter likes it?
16 if we better get 16 likes in the next 16 seconds. Or else I don't know.
Bad
We'll
thing.
think of something. Yeah, bad things.
Yeah.
Horrible things, terrible things. Except with the Seahawks. We need great things with the Seahawks this weekend. Great things for our Lions. Let's go Lions. #1 pride, baby.
Oh, I've always liked lion. Like in terms of the
Yeah.
animal kingdom, lions are quite
Right.
cool, right?
Yeah, they're dope.
Lioness is cool as well.
Yeah. Lion King. Good movie.
Yeah, kind of. I'm gonna say it's overrated.
Sure. Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah, there's like I've talked to a few people who are like, that's my favorite Disney movie. I wouldn't put it in my top 5 personally. But I also have a weird top 5 of Disney movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of unhinged, honestly. Lilo and Stitch is on there. Emperor's New Groove is on there. I can see you already judging me.
No, it's just I'm just not like I don't know. I'm not into like the Disney movies, I guess.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'm a
Yeah,
Pixar.
even as a kid.
Not really.
Wow, what did you watch as a kid?
World War II documentaries. No.
I would believe it though,
But
honestly.
British television, like Thunderbirds. I think that's American.
Oh, really?
Thomas the Tank.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. What age do you stop watching the Disney stuff?
Like 10?
Yeah, I guess that's when I was watching, British things.
World War II documentaries. Oh
I mean, you
my
have to get
god.
him in as well.
Maddie, stop the presses. Derek, $9.99. Thanks for the content. Thank you, Derek.
Yeah, thanks, Derek.
Very
Derek's been
generous.
around for a long time as well. Like, it's very cool how we have returning names. And Derek, that is more than kind. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Someone said Danger Mouse. Christopher said Danger Mouse.
What? Oh, see, Christopher, I feel like I'm a bit young for that. No, I'm not trying to call you old there. I'm young, right? I look young.
Do you ever watch like Dragon Ball or anything like that?
No. Wow. Yu-Gi-Oh is my thing.
Oh, all right. There we go.
Yeah. That was real good.
Hey, Yugi.
When I was in so I bought a Yu-Gi-Oh book, like about all the cards, right?
Okay.
And it had in it how Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon sold for like something stupid at an auction in Japan. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. Wonder how you get one of them, because I had 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons, and to get Ultimate Dragon, you have to get 3 of them, right, and do some other stuff. And whenever Yu-Gi-Oh or Yugi, brought out Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, there was like one episode, I think, or maybe it was Kaiba who did it. Anyway, sorry, I've forgotten a lot of it. It's all filled up with football, but it was very cool as well. And Blue Eyes White Dragon, everyone knows that from Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Anyway, so then went on holiday in France, and there was in the supermarket, in the superstore, there was all these like plastic cases with one Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon in each. And I bought one for like €5 and was like, wow, got myself a bargain there. Going to sell that for $1 million in Tokyo. And I was like, is it fake though? So I don't think it's fake, but perhaps, a reproduction that has not the same value. But, I was young and simple, and I had Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, which is very cool.
Yeah, that's cool. That's dope. Yeah. Yeah, they like sell these like at the Dollar Tree here. Or well, it's not called the Dollar Tree here. It's called Dollarama. But at the dollar store here.
Do you know what we call them in England?
What?
Yeah, Americans find this funny. We call it Poundland.
Mm-hmm. I think it broke up.
We call it
I didn't hear you.
Yeah, because everything's a pound. Like Americans are very immature.
Poundland. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they have these like plastic like bags that just have Yu-Gi-Oh cards in them. You can buy them for like $1.50 or something. By the way, that's the thing about the dollar store. Like nothing in there is actually $1.
Oh.
Like there's not.
I never knew that.
Yeah, so, like everything is like $2 or $3.
Yeah. It's just like it sells. It's like groceries, but not fresh groceries. It's just like a convenience store.
Essentially, yeah. It's like things are like slightly cheaper in there. Like you can get like a bag of chips for like $1.50 instead of like $2.50. But
whoa, here we go.
Wow. All right. Turn up the heat, baby. Dakota 24 says, can I get a hiya?
Yeah.
Yeah, hiya.
I feel like there was more hiya.
Yeah, hiya.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
$20. Well, $19.99 to be specific here, but yeah. Wow. Thank you so much. That is more than generous. Thank you. Thank you.
Very kind. Thank you very much.
It's awesome.
So Poundland, Dollar Tree is all not $1.
Yeah, Dollar Tree, Dollarama. It's all not like
Dollarama?
Yeah, Dollarama is the Canadian one.
Oh.
Dollar Tree is the American one.
They should have called it like Looney Bin or something.
Looney Bin. Doug, we need you in charge over here. What the hell?
Did you mean to do that, Dakota? Because if you did, that's very kind. Yes, you can get
you can get a Go Hawks.
Oh yeah, you can get Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Go Hawks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dakota. Wow.
Yeah, wow. We can spend this on 40 more than 40 items apparently in Dollarama or
There we go. Yeah. Dakota just funded our Dollarama, Dollar Tree, Poundland trip.
Yeah,
we're set.
A Dollar General?
Yeah, Dollar General is another American one.
Snap. So in England, Poundland, everything is a pound, or some of them are 99p, and so pence, and it's all stuff which isn't really worth that, but it's grouped together to be that. They're making money.
That's what's up. Poundland's going hard.
And some things you want a pound of,
right?
Some things you don't want to take a pound of.
For sure, absolutely.
Like a pound of Skittles, yeah, I'd have that.
Yeah.
Inside me. But a pound of other things, probably not, right? I'm not going to take that.
You're not helping the whole Matty has his head in the gutter discourse.
Oh, the accusations.
What the hell,
Dakota, this is very kind of you. Thank you.
What?
Clearly, the riffing is clearly going well.
Jeez. And this is, of course, the show that Griff misses. Maybe it's because Griff is not here. Maybe that's the secret.
Should say all tips split 33, 33.
Yeah, Griff 33. Will still get a share of this. So
yes. Oh, a 33, 33.
33, 33, 33. Jamal.
Oh, it's for my hat. Thank you. Yeah. Everyone's a fan of this hat.
Well, Sonics, man. Yeah. That's, dude, if you wear anything Sonics, you will get in the good graces of anyone from Seattle.
True.
No.
I think, well, no free ads. No free ads.
No free ads.
No.
But
it's not made by no, it's made by Mitchell and Ness, I think.
His share minus expenses, yeah.
And Griff has expenses. Like, we don't need to get into it on air, but Griff, he's kind of a diva.
Needs coffee.
Yeah. He's, goes off in the woods.
Needs whiteboards. Yeah. He needs doggy bags for,
Yeah. Volcano binoculars.
Of course. Yeah. Notepads to.
That's actually why there haven't been volcano updates recently, I think, because he didn't get the expenses in.
He's journaling though on a notepad instead of on Twitter because he doesn't know what the viability of Twitter is for the future. So now he's documented it for his book that
makes sense because how long's Twitter been around compared to written text?
Exactly. Very good.
Something to think about.
Exactly. And so Griff is just ahead of the game.
Yeah. Right. Should we do the old podcast?
The old podcast-a-roo? Yeah.
I mean, that was a great podcast. We should repackage that.
Yeah, that was a podcast in itself.
Oh, hell yeah. Right.
Let's do it.
Oh, real quick. Dakota said, love this podcast, man. Thank you very much. That is very kind.
Thank you, Dakota. Appreciate it.
We will keep it going.
We will. Oh yeah. Flex on them.
Okay. Right. Welcome to the Seattle Overload podcast, where it is time for our Seahawks Week 18 news roundup and chat with me, Matty, and Ty.
That's me.
That is you. But what has dominated the Seahawks world and the NFL world is the sad, but hopefully, fingers crossed, everything crossed, positive news in the end of the collapse of Bills safety Damar Hamlin during Monday Night Football. Obviously, a tragic thing to watch happen, but the news coming out is more and more positive. But that was horrid, Ty.
Yeah, I was watching the game live. Certainly, the most disturbing thing, scary thing, sad thing that I've seen on live television in general, let alone sports. Just wishing for the best for Damar, and always thinking about his family. Been thinking about his family the last few days, and this situation in general, I think for at least some of us, certainly for me, creates an interesting conversation with oneself about football and what it is to be a football fan, right? And the game that we're kind of that we're watching, and the real violence and the real circumstances of it all. So it really just put everything into perspective. The one thing that I'll say is that I'm really proud of what the majority of the response has been to this whole situation. I thought that the ESPN broadcast handled it beautifully and about as well as you could possibly hope, given the circumstances, the unique circumstances. I thought Joe Buck and Booger McFarland and Susie Culver, they did a great job with that. Same with Ryan Clark and what he said on Scott Van Pelt and some of the other ESPN shows. Obviously, the response to Damar's GoFundMe, which last time I checked was over $4 million after a goal set of like $20,000 or something like that.
Yes, now it's 6,910,420.
Yeah, that's incredible. And just to see, the response from other teams around the league and teams in Seattle. Shout out to the Mariners who lit T-Mobile Park up in blue and red in support of DeMar. I believe the Seahawks also did the similar thing, and just some of the posts on social media, whatnot, and obviously got to give a shout out to just the way that the teams handled this. Obviously, the NFL, there's a lot of things coming out about how the NFL handled this. That's a whole nother conversation. But the way that the teams at least handled this, from what we know, the way that Zach Taylor and the Bengals handled this, especially, was nice to see. So yeah, and Dakota's come through with another another super chat. Dakota, man. Oh wow, right in between the the bots on YouTube here. But Dakota comes through with a $10 or $9.99 super chat.
Yeah,
Thank you,
saying
Dakota.
pray for DeMar, which if whatever God you believe in, even if you don't believe in a God, prayers, thoughts, good stuff. Yeah, the ESPN thing is they're in a tough situation and they all did pretty damn good. Like even Adam Schefter's trying his best.
There was a couple moments where he was talking about the league a little too much and how they were going to have to handle it. Yeah,
you can question the source there, but the former players like Ryan Clark, Booger McFarland's, like they handled it great, and you do wonder, like, I don't know if they should have been on air for that long, like just cut something else.
Yeah.
But then also people like, when you're watching the broadcast, it's sort of you're sharing the, well, it's a traumatic event. You're sharing that with people, and I guess there's a value in that. People want to feel like it's a collective event. It becomes almost. So I don't know.
There's been some really scary things that have happened on the football field this year. Thinking about Tua, what happened on that same field. Thinking about Russ and that close up of his face that still burned in my memory, unfortunately. And then some of the other concussions that have happened, like Naeem Hines and Devontae Parker. Just seeing them, that visibly shaken up. And then obviously, this is, this tops all of it. And it's just, it's really, it was really disturbing to see. It was really, the thing that really got me was seeing his teammates, just lose it on the field, and, not really knowing what's going on, but seeing guys like Tre'Davious White, just in shambles, it's just, it was really sad to see. And so thinking about all those guys, thinking about everyone really in the NFL right now that, witnessed that. And, I'm sure there's some guys right now that, maybe they're questioning their future in football, seeing that, come into the harsh reality of this. Cause, I think this has always been in the back of our minds, but none of us really want to admit it or, talk about it, let that come out into the open, what this game can really, do, what the actual real dangers of this game can be. And it's I do wonder how not only the Bills are proceeding this week, but the rest of the league in general and the rest of these players.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is it's a freak tragic accident almost, like, and it wasn't with the concussion stuff you can sort of question the sport, but this, I mean, football is a violent physical sport, but this was a routine hit where it's, the medical experts I've heard talk about it say, it's like a 0.01% chance. Even in football, it's rarer because how often do you get hit like that? And in the chest, compared to say like baseball, where a hard ball hits you at a different sort of velocity. Where I believe that it seems people saying it would be more common in baseball, but still a freak kind of incident, or like hockey, or lacrosse,
tennis, I think.
Ball. Right. But just a freak accident. And then in soccer, like there's been 2 instances of sudden cardiac arrest, not from being contacted in the chest, but players just collapsing. Christian Eriksen, he collapsed for Denmark in Euro. It was 2020, but it was actually 2021, and he was able to give the thumbs up on the field. And then they made there's differing accounts, but according to the Danish who Eriksson played for, Denmark goalkeeper's dad, who's a notable guy called Peter Schmeichel, the governing body forced Denmark to play on 60 minutes after they'd watched their teammate collapse. Said they'd have to forfeit the game 3-0. So the fact that the NFL that didn't happen, and more importantly, Zach Taylor showed the compassion to walk across the field to McDermott, and obviously we don't know what it said, but it seemed pretty obvious that it was the coaches who took the players off the field and the players who instigated that too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's massive, and just the human compassion element. And then the other instance was Fabrice Muamba in a Premier League game, the EPL. He collapsed on the field, but thankfully both him and Eriksson made full recoveries. Muamba didn't return to soccer, but Christian Eriksen did. He now plays in the Premier League again. So those are both positive tales, which reflect the importance of CPR training and having an AED, a defibrillator by the field. I've had CPR and I've had CPR training. And I think, that's hopefully one positive that comes out of it. And hopefully another positive is that, Damar Hamlin does make a full recovery and is okay. Like I said, the signs are positive. It's sort of changing thing. And, until the family speaks on it, that's another thing. But the other thing, Ty, is that it sort of reflects from a Seahawks perspective what the first-rate kind of human care nature of the team, like Pete Carroll saying that he listened to each of his players on it and got a feel about it before doing anything, and he had one of the team physicians, Dr. John Dresner, speak to the players about what protocols the NFL have in place when there's an emergency like this. And they also actually made John Dresner available during a Wednesday press conference to talk to the media about what happens when a player has a cardiac arrest on the field. What protocols are in place already, and I think that's big. And you mentioned, Ty, about it bringing into question sort of thing like sport, I guess, and football, and it's a sport. These guys are. I mean, football is all sorts of terrible injuries you can get. This one particularly unique or rare, but it does bring in. They're out there for our entertainment, really. And there are much more important things. And I think, again, that brings this whole incident brings that into sharp focus. And when DK Metcalf's up there, he was saying about how it does give you some pause about this is what I'm doing. We know as players, we put our body on the line. Heck, DK Metcalf goes and says, he broke his neck playing this sport, which he did.
Yeah,
right?
He did.
So there's all sorts of bad things which can happen. But when you have people on Twitter who at players and mention players and abusive towards players, or even the few, thankfully few, small number, Ty, who were calling out the players for not playing on, saying that they felt entitled still, even after all that they thought players should go and play still. Sort of, again, it reiterates that it's much more important that these people are human. Even if they're in a big shoulder pads and a big helmet, and they're just human people.
And I mean, like, we can lose them at any moment, right? Like, you don't really know, but that's a whole other thing. But yeah, just wishing the best for Damar, wishing for a speedy recovery. I believe the last thing that came out from the team was that he did seem to make some improvements over the night, this past night, but he's still in critical condition in the ICU. So just wishing the best for him and his family. And so, the fallout from this, in terms of the schedule and all that stuff doesn't really matter. And I think at the end of the day, like, just to quickly touch upon that, I think the easiest thing to do just at this point is just call it a tie, right? Like, because like I don't know what else you can really do at this point. And so, and also if the Chiefs win on Sunday, like, I don't think it even really matters.
So, I mean, I think a tie is fair. Well, I don't know. There's no. I think a tie is fair, and again,
Yeah.
the way that McDermott and Taylor handled that,
Mm-hmm.
and in a crisis, a lot of things are said, as it's being dealt with. But the whole 5 minute thing, which
Mm-hmm.
became, ESPN stood by the fact they were told by an
Yep.
NFL official that it would be 5 minutes. Get get the players ready in 5 minutes. I mean, yeah, that whole deal. The fact
That's
it was the
garbage.
players
Yeah.
the fact it was the players and the coaches who walked off and got packed up. I think a tie
Yeah.
is fair. Not that it doesn't matter, but the way it impacts the playoffs slightly in results is that the Bengals at that time were. Let me just get this up. They were, they were 11-4. So I guess if they'd lost and been 11-5, then their game against the Ravens becomes. No, it doesn't really, does it? Because I was thinking it might become more significant because then,
For like the AFC North.
yeah,
Yeah.
because then if it's 11-5 versus 10-6, then the winner of that wins the North.
Yeah.
And then the Chargers potentially had something to play for as well because their record is, they're 10-6, so then it would have been the Chargers duking it out with, they'd have a reason to try and win if the Ravens had.
Right. For the fifth seed. For fifth seed purposes.
Yeah, but I don't actually think that's a thing, is it really? No. And like I said, I think it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
ultimately a tie is fine. Like, yeah, and hopefully, Damar Hamlin is able to make a full recovery.
Yeah. Oh, and Bart Scott is a jackass for suggesting that
Yeah,
like T.
I
Higgins
don't want
had any
to.
fault
Yeah,
for
we
that.
don't need
But yeah.
to.
Yeah.
We don't need
But
to publicize these people. But yeah,
yeah. Jesus.
but
Yeah, that's
again,
the one that upset me though. I was just like, yeah.
yeah.
Not cool. Not cool at all.
So in terms of the Week 18 schedule and the games, a big controversial thing happened, Ty.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I made it happen because I said the day before that the Seahawks have a big competitive disadvantage argument to be made if the Packers-Lions game gets moved to Sunday Night Football. Because, Ty, as I'm sure you're all familiar with now, dear listener, Seattle plays at their usual time of 9:25 p.m. on a Sunday, hosting the 5-11 Los Angeles Rams. However, the Detroit Lions, who they need to beat the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field if Seattle is to make the playoffs, play after Seattle, and the Detroit Lions would have zero incentive to win that game other than we hate Green Bay, boo Aaron Rodgers. Because the Detroit Lions, if the Seahawks win against the Los Angeles Rams, are eliminated from the playoff contention. So that kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, it means a bunch of things, right? Maybe if a guy, on the Lions, say, gets hurt, he's less incentivized to potentially play through it, something like that. There's a lot of things, right, where they're just not going to potentially push it. And so you do have to worry about that. The one thing that I've seen on social media, though, that I disagree with is like, oh, they're just going to like give up. They're not going to play like they're not going to play hard or whatever. It's like, dude, like making the playoffs is obviously really important to the team overall, but for some of these guys, there's a lot more at stake as well. This is perhaps their last impression to make before the offseason, whether their contract is expiring or their guy on the back end of the roster, trying to build some good rapport with with the coaching staff, et cetera. There's a lot of stuff that's going here, and these guys ultimately at the end of the day are professionals. So I think that the Lions are still going to be able to go into that game and play a good game against Green Bay. But yeah, looking at it as a whole here, I mean, the Seahawks have a real complaint to make, and I know that they're not, and the best that they can do is just keep their head down and move forward with it. But and that's what they're doing, and that's been the message from Pete Carroll and everyone. But yeah, it's a giant mess up by the NFL, and it also makes you a little bit concerned about the Rams game if they're because clearly the NFL is hedging for a winner take all type of matchup between the Lions and the Packers that night. And so if there's a and if there's a I just saw your message. And if there's a couple of questionable calls.
Oh, Ty, it's not rigged. Ty, you can't behave like that.
I'm just saying that's gonna create a conversation, right? If there are a couple of questionable calls in that game and the Seahawks end up losing. Or even if they end up winning and there's still a couple of questionable calls, that might be a little, I don't know. Like some people are probably going to turn their head at that. So yeah, man, I just, yeah, it's stupid. There's really no other way to really, go about this and say it. Like, it's dumb. It's terrible for the Seahawks. It puts them at a severe disadvantage potentially. And, I do think that the Lions are going to give Green Bay a pretty good game, but you do have to worry about them, being a little conservative with their guys if they need to, and being conservative just in general with, with everything, if it's not a winner take all type of game for them.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is they do have an incentive to lose from a draft pick perspective because they could get up to like the 14th overall pick from where they're picking now, which is 17th overall, which on like the draft value charts, like the Rich Hill model, is worth like the equivalent. It would cost you like a 3rd round pick to move up that high. Obviously, it can differ depending on stuff, but yeah, that's kind of wild. The good news is, as we said on Sunday, Dan Campbell is Dan Campbell. He is a kneecap biter. Pete Carroll said, he believes Dan Campbell will play hard, whatever. And, Campbell said as much as well. And yeah, they do have the incentive of beating a divisional rival, keeping them out the playoffs, playing the spoilers. Campbell said how, they want to play in notable games. They want this to be more normal. And so this is a great opportunity for them to either, make the playoffs or not. So still kind of BS for the Seattle Seahawks, especially when in 2021, they had that weird thing where lots of the Rams got COVID, and rather than just play the game as the NFL said would happen, they rearranged the game. And who went and won the Super Bowl, and that was all a bit odd anyway. But no, there isn't some grand conspiracy, although it is a bit unfair.
Or is there?
I think certain teams maybe are better for the entertainment value of the NFL right now. But imagine thinking, Ty, that Aaron Rodgers is a bigger draw than Geno Smith. Like, that's ridiculous.
In 2022 or 2023 now.
And the problem is, Ty, what ends up happening is you'll end up getting Jared Goff in the playoffs.
Which, I mean, I like the Lions. Look, I'm going to be real about it. I like the Lions. So if it ends up, like, even if the Seahawks lose to the Rams, I'm rooting for the Lions. Like, I hope the Lions get in. I think the Lions would be a fun team in the playoffs. That'd be cool. But I'd prefer the Seahawks. And you know what? I'm just going to say it. I actually don't feel terrible about Sunday. I honestly think that things might go pretty well for us, and we might actually, this time next Wednesday, we might be talking about another game potentially for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah. Hopefully, I saw a tweet saying from Seahawk Nerd, the Super Bowl roadmap. Seahawks win at home to the Rams. Watch the Lions upset the Green Bay on Sunday Night Football. Get redemption versus the 49ers as a wild card, which I like it. Hard to lose to a team 3 times in the season. Rarely happens. Travel to Philly to knock out the Eagles. All very easy. And let the Cowboys choke in the NFC Championship game. Although I think Dallas may have choked before then, but I don't know. I like Dak. Dak's nice. Are you on board with the roadmap, Ty?
I'm super down. I'm very down. I would like to go up against the fraud Vikings, but especially for letting us down this past Sunday, that was terrible. Friendship with the Minnesota Vikings is over. Detroit Lions are my new best friend, and but yeah, I want another shot at the Niners. Let's go.
Yeah.
So win Sunday, Lions win Sunday, and then let's go to Santa Clara, see what happens.
Yeah. So we've had a question from Dakota again, and another 2 kind donations. So the first question, I think we can answer. The second one, I don't think Ty's going to shave his beard.
No. I live in Toronto. It's too cold to shave my beard. This thing is like this is a resource. This is not just for show. This is like, I need this. This is a necessity.
Yeah, but the first one on Tyreek Smith, was he supposed to be any good? Well, I mean, he was a day 3 pick for a reason, but he's more of he was more of like a dropping pass rusher than a rushing dropper, if that makes sense. Like, he was more of a guy he'd drop. He played in, oddly, Ohio State in his time there. They were playing Pete Carroll's kind of system of defense. Like, they copied a lot of the things that Seattle was doing, and they took a few coaches who'd been in that system in, I think it was San Francisco as well. But he popped occasionally for them, but he'd be the kind of like try hard, set the edge rusher, hustling edge rusher, where he, would have high activity, but also he'd help you out setting the edge on early downs, like Alton Robinson. I think the fit they had envisioned for him this year. And then obviously, they didn't trust Darrell Taylor to do that, and they brought in Bam Johnson. And I think, with how much 2-4-5 fronts they've run, so 4 guys down at the line of scrimmage in a nickel look, I think that is, I think that's what they were sort of going for. So, yeah, I know, he had some kind of splashy rushes. He's he turned the corner pretty well occasionly, but sort of leaning into guys. He's not the most bendy. As I said, he was like a day 3 pick for a reason. So
yeah, he's like he's a rotational guy. He's a number 5 rusher, like on your depth chart. It's like that type of dude.
Yeah, and yeah, they picked him, I think, because he's smart as well and high motor. So
Dakota asked if he's gone after the season. I don't think so. Like, he'll get a chance to compete in training camp. He didn't even get a chance really because he was hurt all summer. So, yeah,
that would be. I mean, the reason, he got hurt. He's just kind of got redshirted, really. But
yeah,
he's a 5th round pick, so to even as a 5th round pick to be cut next year would be kind of tough, especially when like Alton Robinson is his deal up now.
I think this is his last year coming up.
Right. Okay. Maybe not. But like, yeah, in your second year, that'd be tough. But sometimes players aren't ready, like Amara Darbo, for instance.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah.
Thanks for that one, Matty.
No problem. He's catching strays out here. Right. So back to the schedule and the ramifications of that, of week 18.
Real quick. Speaking of, because you said Amara Darbo, now you've sent me on this trip. No. Who's your favorite round 3 or round 4 receiver the Seahawks have drafted in the Pete Carroll era? There's quite a few of them. Chris Durham, Chris Harper, Gary Jennings.
I like Gary. I liked him. Gary had potential.
There you go. Yeah, I did like Gary too.
Gino would have gotten cooking. Little West Virginia connection.
There you go. Of course, yeah. Are there any West Virginia receivers in this draft class?
I don't know.
Yeah, we need to get that going.
Bad?
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like
I don't know either.
They're pretty broken.
I don't do like any sort of draft research until the Senior Bowl. because the draft does begin in Mobile, so
it does.
So,
allegedly.
Allegedly, at least. Yeah. So so I don't know either. But if there are West Virginia receivers or just a singular West Virginia receiver in this draft class, think about it.
I mean, surely your favorite round 3 receiver is Tyler Lockett, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. He was a late round 3 though. He was early round 3. He was like,
and they traded up quite a bit to get him.
Yeah, he was like pick 68 or something like that, I think. Like he was like early round 3.
He was pick 69 according to this.
Ooh, nice.
This is not helping my reputation.
Yeah. No. Y'all know what we're talking about?
Okay. Schedule. Now you've been down the Darbo wormhole. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us.
The Darbo initiative.
The other thing with the schedule is that the Chargers, who the Seahawks need to beat the Denver Broncos in the late window at Denver, by the way, have no incentive to win that game if the 10-6 Ravens, who it looks like they'll be without Lamar Jackson again at quarterback, lose at the 11-4 Bengals. And not only do they not have an incentive on paper, not only has their not only are the Broncos now 2-point favorites, with the betting clearly thinking that's going on. Not only would the Chargers be the number 5 seed regardless if the Ravens do lose early, so that's why they have no incentive. Brandon Staley said in his press conference, once we find out about that game, the Ravens game, then we'll make the appropriate decisions moving forward. This is a coach who has held out his entire first string from preseason games. So it sounds like it will be the Chase Daniel show.
Now, Matty, have I told you how much of a Chase Daniel fan I am? Big Chase Daniel guy over here.
He's in the wrong sport, but I guess if you're a backup quarterback, Chase is right. But Chase should be driving NASCAR, right?
Chase looks like he should be like in a writer's room for like a comedy, like an adult comedy cartoon. Yeah.
What other? I know Chase Utley. What other Chases are there?
There's a couple chases in NASCAR, I think. So that's a good fit for him. It's good. Like that sounds like a NASCAR driver name, Chase Daniel, driving the number 17 car. Yeah. Other chases, Jamar Chase, right? He's pretty good. It's his last, we'll just forget the part that's his last name and not his first name.
Chase.
You're not the boss of me. I can do whatever I want.
So obviously Seattle needed Denver to kind of lose another game just for the bants, but also because that would basically get them the third. Well, it would get them the third overall selection, maybe the second, but I don't think the Bears are going to win. Justin Fields is out.
Nathan Peterman is playing quarterback for the Chicago Bears.
Peterman, man.
However, it's against the Vikings, who, as we established, are frauds. So,
fraudulent Vikings.
Yeah. Chevy Chase, there we go. 509 Adventures. There we go. Yeah. So probably bye-bye Jalen, but could you imagine the content if the Broncos lose to the Chargers running out Chase Daniel and like their second string defense?
The content would be great, other than my mock draft content would be less exciting because rather than 3 overall, there's a scenario where Seattle ends up picking 5 overall, despite being locked in at 3 overall for so many weeks now. So that is sad.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't want to be 5th overall. I want to be 3rd overall, preferably.
Yeah.
I would like Will Anderson Jr. or Jalen Carter on my football team, please.
Yeah, and I'm not sure it can happen now.
Do you consider a trade up? Do you consider trading up for one of those guys? I mean, well, all right. So the Cardinals would surpass you, right? Who else would surpass you? The Colts.
Yeah.
Colts need a quarterback, so that's only one. But the problem is the Bears. But could the Bears trade their pick to a quarterback needy team? I mean, there is a chance that one of those guys could fall to you, and this is of course not accounting for anything that could happen to those guys' draft stock over the course of the spring. But like, what?
I've just seen who the Colts play. The Colts are at home to the 2-13-1 Houston Texans.
All right, so number 4 then.
Or we could get. Oh no, we can't do that.
No, you can't do that. No, you can't drive the Texans down. They only have what, 2 wins? You said.
Yeah, they need to.
Yeah.
Okay. Relax.
But like, all right. So like, think about it like this, right? Number 1 pick, Houston. They got to take a quarterback, right? Like, it's got to be C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, right? Like, yeah. And then Bears, like, they could take Jalen Carter or Will Anderson, or they could trade that pick to the Panthers, the Lions, the whatever, right? For, another quarterback. Number 3 pick, Cardinals will likely take a Will Anderson Jr. or a Jalen Carter. But if you're number 4, you might, or even if you're number 5, even if the Colts pick ahead of you, they're probably taking quarterback. Will Levis, come on down. So then, you get whoever the Cardinals don't take.
Okay, this is good cope.
Right?
Or
right.
The Ravens beat the Bengals.
Tyler Huntley. Have I told you how big of a Tyler Huntley guy I am? Big believer in Tyler Huntley.
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah. Hopefully 4 overall then.
Yeah, that would be.
Am I missing a team?
Or hey, David Blow could beat the 49ers.
Yeah. Maybe.
Right?
I mean,
Jarrett Stidham almost beat him.
Yeah, I can't believe there's like a worse team than the Cardinals. Like, there are certain teams I've watched recently who it looks like they're calling plays and playing to intentionally lose, which that does happen. Allegedly.
I mean, we wouldn't want to accuse anyone of tanking on the show, Matty. This is a professional show.
Yeah. Semi.
Semi.
I say
Thank
semi.
You. Semi. Thank you.
Do you know the Dodge? Is it the Dodge?
Hemi?
Yeah, you don't say Hemi. What's that about? Got you there, buddy. If an American...
all right. I'm gonna admit that I was just doing it to be different, to to annoy you a little bit, to rustle your jimmies a little bit, and look, I admit that I've been had. All right, I've been had. You got me.
Because like, what's more American than the Hemi? Is it an engine? I think it might be what they call their engine.
Yeah.
The V8.
It's a Hemi. It's a Hemi. Yeah.
And circling back from American V8s, we want the Motor City Detroit to win.
That's right. That's right, baby. That's right, baby. One pride, baby. One pride.
Yeah.
I will buy a Jared Goff jersey if they win. If the Seahawks win and the Lions win, I will buy a Jared Goff jersey. And I will wear it on this show, on every episode of Lockdown Mariners, the week that I get it, every single day. I will wear a Jared Goff jersey.
And the kind blue. Of wet. Oh, look at what you're wearing.
Right? Yeah. Don't look at what it says on the front. This is a Lions sweatshirt, folks.
It's kind of Honolulu blue or whatever.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Honolulu blue. Yeah, exactly.
I look like I might be a Packers fan, which is a problem. But it says Sonics, so let's just relax.
It says Sonics. Save our Sonics. Yeah. Also, it's not like the green and gold like Packers. There's some red in there, so I mean, that's such a unique color scheme now that I think about it. Like, what other team has like maroon, orange, yellow, and green as their colors?
It's very cool.
Yeah, it's so. Yeah.
The Minnesota Wild.
Oh
I'm a
yeah.
big ice hockey fan.
Wow. How did you just pulled that one right out? Wow. All right.
Yeah, it's because when I was looking at ice hockey, I was like, oh, that's kind of a rip off of the Sonics.
They don't have orange though. I don't think.
No, they don't have orange.
Or it's like it's not even orange. It's like
It's more
brown.
yellow.
It's like well, no, there's like a bright yellow that's like the outline, but
Right.
then like the lettering is like this like brownish orange.
So what we're saying is the Minnesota Wild are trash.
Yeah, they're fake Sonics.
Yeah. They don't even play basketball. Like
derivative. Yeah, they don't even play basketball.
Like if that's what they're trying to do, they need to step it up a bit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wild,
so
more like mild, because that shit is whack.
True.
Owned.
True. So the Lions tie, there's reason for optimism in that Jamal Williams is 1 touchdown off equaling Barry Sanders' team franchise record for rushing touchdowns in the
Wait,
season.
for real? Really?
Yeah.
Jamal Williams?
15 rushing touchdowns.
That's incredible, man.
Leads the NFL.
Good for him.
Yeah,
that's incredible. Good. Yeah, that's awesome.
Since week 6, the Lions lead the NFL in dropback EPA per play.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're also really good at running the ball.
All
and
right.
Green Bay didn't really have that good a run defense. Although this last week against Minnesota, they kind of BS'd their way into having a good one. But ignore that.
Cope. All right. Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
So it's going to happen. Seattle just needs to handle their business.
Exactly.
Now, in terms of Seattle's business, on Wednesday, which is when we're recording this, you may be listening to this on Thursday, they had 10 players not participate in practice. Phil Haynes, left guard, out with an ankle injury. Travis Homer, running back, out with his ankle injury still. Tyler Lockett, listed with a shin injury now, did not participate in practice, but Pete Carroll described that basically as resting, like they expect him to go. DJ Dallas, running back, out with an ankle injury. Noah Fant, tight end, out with a knee injury. That's something which had been on there before. They're clearly managing that situation. Kenneth Walker, the third, out with an ankle and illness. Again, managing that, but the illness is something that Quentin Jefferson missed practice with as well.
Oh, no. No.
Uchenna Nwosu out with a foot injury. That's new. Ryan Neal still out with his knee. Poona Ford out with a calf injury. So that's a lot of significant guys out. And then limited participants were Abraham Lucas coming back from his knee deal, and Al Woods, who I think is just having his Achilles managed. But a lot of notable names there. I imagine if there's any possibility that they can play, all of those players will play, because kind of what we spoke about at the start of the show, like NFL players do give a hell of a lot and they put a lot of stuff on the line, and they're very tough.
Same thing that I said about the Lions. Like a lot of these guys have a lot to play for beyond just making the playoffs, right? There's a lot that's on the line for a lot of these guys. So they're professionals at the end of the day, and it's I would expect that quite a few guys are going to give it their all to try and play in this game. So and also at this point in the year, you got to manage injuries. Like we're seeing Kim Walker on there and Noah Fant. You just having to manage that stuff, and they just having to play through it.
Yeah.
Just the way the game is.
And one thing as well is incentives. So Tyler Higbee needs 13 yards to hit a $500,000 bonus.
Are there any incentives that we know about with the Seahawks?
No. But Tyler Higbee does play for the Rams at tight end, Ty, so it's relevant. You see.
So double Tyler Higbee is what you're saying.
All I'm saying is
we will not let him get those 13 yards. We are making that our mission.
If it's inside, like inside the 2-minute warning, you're out of timeouts, and Baker's in the shotgun, So a lot of things are happening here.
Mm-hmm.
And you're down by 3,
Mm-hmm.
and it's 3rd and 7,
Mm-hmm.
and Tyler Higbee's on 12 yards. Then the ball's going to him, because that's obviously how it works.
Right.
So then you jump it, you run it back for touchdown.
Yeah, Jonathan Abram.
Yeah, this is how this all works. I don't know
Yeah.
if you.
Yeah. Jonathan Abram pick 6 to send the Seahawks to the postseason.
Did you see Clint Hurt's Instagram?
Yes, I did. That was very funny. What did he say again exactly? He was like, he posted the picture of he was like, don't who catches or who tries to catch the ball with their eyes closed or something like that. It was Jonathan Abram with his eyes closed trying to intercept the ball.
And then he answered the question saying only seals and walruses try to catch the ball like that. And then today he said how Abram was lucky it wasn't a javelin because it would have impaled him. Yeah.
It's a good point. It would have.
It's a good coaching point. You probably shouldn't have your eyes closed if you're trying to catch a ball.
Probably also shouldn't try to catch the ball like this.
Yeah, that also doesn't help. Form a bucket, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Diamond, Matty. Make the diamond.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully, we'll be back on tomorrow with our film breakdown of what went well, what went wrong with the game. A lot more what went well. You know, who did they play, Ty? Help me out here.
The New York Jets of football.
Ah, yes. The New York Football Jets.
And
then Sunday, there's a few circumstances at play. If the Seahawks lose, which obviously won't happen, but we're just covering our bases. If the Seahawks lose, we'll probably go live right afterwards, because then we can have a little party. Maybe we'll have a party on air, or a wake. Good old wake. But if the Seahawks win, which they will, let's manifest, we'll be live after Sunday Night Football, so a late one, especially for me. Or, you know, maybe after the first half of Sunday Night Football, depending on what happens there. But manifest after Sunday Night Football, after the Lions go and blow out the Green Bay Packers. But yeah, that's the schedule for this week. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, everyone, for joining live and for the donations. It's very kind.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment if you haven't already. Follow Ty at Dane Gunzelas. Follow me at Matty F. Brown. Follow the podcast at Seattle Overload. If you're listening, you can do the same. We are live on YouTube at Matty F. Brown. Just search that on YouTube, you'll find it. But if you're listening, you can also give us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast medium and download the show if you haven't already. And if you're watching, be sure to check us out there, because Ty edits that thing up, puts it out, gets it in the oven.
That's right, baby.
Doesn't matter what to your device.
Doesn't matter the day either. I got that thing out on Christmas Day. We're here for you guys 24/7, 365, baby.
Yeah, that's not true. But it's 3 days a week, and Christmas fell on that day.
Oh yeah. That's true.
Yeah. I was like, Ty's working.
That's right.
He's hustling.
Putting in that work. I'm cooking. baby.
So yeah, check out the podcast as well. It is just this show, but you know, when you're driving, if you're responsible.
Yeah. Remember, seatbelts on.
Seatbelt on. Only
legal U-turns.
Yeah. Where are you at on the roundabout, Ty?
I mean,
Griff's not here. It's okay.
What's the point of it? Really? Like, it just kind of just seems silly, right? Like, we're just all, you know, just.
Hey guys, what's the deal with roundabouts? Eh?
What's the deal with roundabouts? I mean, come on, right? Like, I don't know. They're just, you're just going around. You're just they're about and they're round, and you're just going around in a circle or whatever.
Going round and round.
Yeah, you just keep going around and around. Like what if you miss your turn? You just got to go round and round and round over and over and over again, and then I don't know. Bob's your uncle, right? That's what British people say. Who is Bob? Why is he your uncle?
You can't. Well, let me explain. Do you know how uncles work, Ty? You don't pick your
No,
uncle,
no.
buddy.
Explain that to me. Explain the process of like who your family is. Like, let's get really in the weeds here.
When a man
Mm.
loves a woman,
Mm.
they do this thing